Picture this. It's March 29, 1987. The Pontiac Silverdome is packed with over 90,000 roaring fans, and the energy is electric, the anticipation palpable. Millions more are watching around the world. For many, this very event is considered to be the pinnacle of the 1980s wrestling boom. For on this monumental night, one of the most iconic moments in wrestling history unfolds. The colossal figure of André the Giant stands menacingly in the ring, his 7'4", 520-pound frame dwarfing everyone around him. Opposite him is the charismatic hero, Hulk Hogan. WrestleMania III was more than just a match. It was a clash of titans, a spectacle that would define an era in the World Wrestling Federation. André the Giant, once beloved by fans worldwide, had embraced the role of the villain. As André and his manager, Bobby Heenan, made their way to the ring on a cart, the atmosphere was charged with animosity. The fans' boos were deafening, and in a dramatic display of their disdain, they pelted André and Heenan with trash, creating a chaotic scene that underscored the intense emotions surrounding the match. Without a formidable villain, there can be no legendary hero, and this was the noble role André the Giant played at WrestleMania III. This single match not only elevated the drama of the WWF, but also solidified André's legacy as one of the most influential figures in wrestling history. The story of André the Giant is a tale of incredible highs and heart-wrenching lows, of a man whose sheer size and presence left an indelible mark on the world. André René Roussimoff was born on May 19, 1946, in the small village of Moulins, France. From an early age, it was clear that André was different. By the age of 12, he stood over 6 feet tall and weighed more than 200 pounds. By the time he turned 18, he had reached the 7-foot mark. His extraordinary size was due to acromegaly, a condition caused by an excess of growth hormone. Despite his intimidating stature, André was known as a gentle and kind-hearted child. Growing up on a farm, André's size proved to be an asset, allowing him to handle laborious tasks with ease. However, his condition also brought challenges. Traditional school desks and chairs couldn't accommodate him, and he often faced stares and whispers from those who were awestruck by his appearance. Yet André was determined not to let his condition define him negatively. At the age of 17, André moved to Paris to pursue a career in wrestling. His natural size and strength made him a perfect fit for the sport. He trained under some of the best wrestlers of the time and quickly made a name for himself in the European wrestling circuits, wrestling under the name of Jean Ferret. In 1971, André, then known as Monster Roussimoff, brought his talents to Japan's international wrestling enterprises. At this early stage in his career, André was renowned for his surprising agility, a stark contrast to the burly frame that fans would later recognize. His ability to engage the crowd and his opponents as a heel was rapidly evolving. André's work in Japan soon caught the attention of North American promoters, and by the summer of 1971, he was wrestling in Canada and for Vern Gagne's American Wrestling Association. By 1973, he had adopted the ring name André the Giant and began making appearances for the Worldwide Wrestling Federation, which was the precursor to the WWF. André also toured with New Japan Pro Wrestling in the 70s and 80s. Here, he was positioned as a monster heel, where his exceptional in-ring psychology, combined with his immense size, made him a convincingly daunting villain. Unfortunately, this period also marked the beginning of André's struggle with injuries. He suffered 2 broken ankles, one of which he sustained simply while getting out of bed. When Vince McMahon took over the federation from his father in 1982, he envisioned Hulk Hogan as the company's top star during its expansion. However, André the Giant remained central to his creative plans. No longer just a special attraction, André became a key player on the WWF roster. From 1983, he engaged in a memorable feud with Big John Studd, culminating in a body slam challenge at the first WrestleMania in 1985, which André won. As André's career progressed, he faced countless opponents, each match further cementing his legendary status. But it was his encounter with Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania III that would become the pinnacle of his career. This event was billed as the unstoppable force meets the immovable object, and it lived up to every bit of the hype. In the lead-up to the match, André's transformation into a villain was masterfully orchestrated. The storyline saw him turn against his longtime friend Hogan, driven by jealousy and a desire to prove he was the greatest. The match itself was a masterclass in wrestling drama. Hogan, the fan favorite, was pitted against the seemingly invincible Giant. In an unforgettable moment, Hogan achieved the impossible, body slamming André and pinning him for the victory. This match not only highlighted Hogan's heroism, but also André's ability to elevate his opponents and the entire sport. According to WWE Hall of Famer Ted DiBiase, André made Hulk Hogan. Here comes this guy that has everything going for him, Hogan. His size, his whole deal, his look. But, somebody's got to make him a star. And André the Giant, more than anybody, I think is the guy who helped Hogan become a star. And I think Hogan would tell you that. As André's wrestling fame increased, so did the infamous tales of his alcohol consumption. It's expected that someone of André's size would drink more than an average person, but his intake reached dangerous levels. There were even stories of André downing over 100 beers in one sitting. According to WWE Hall of Famer Gerald Briscoe, André used to drink even before matches. André used to ask me to get him 6 bottles of Matthias wine and ice them down, Briscoe told the Tampa Bay Times. He would drink those before we went to the ring and no one could tell. It appeared that André's drinking served as his way of coping with the intense pain caused by his in-ring injuries and acromegaly. André didn't drink for the sake of drinking, the wrestler's The Princess Bride co-star Carrie Elwes said in an interview with Vanity Fair. André was in a lot of pain, God bless him. He was due to have an operation right after the shoot, and his doctor didn't know what kind of pain medication to give him because of his size. So the only way that he could deal with the pain was to drink alcohol. Interestingly, André the Giant held the WWF Championship only once in his illustrious career, though his reign was brief and marked by a controversial storyline. During the February 5, 1988 edition of The Main Event, André the Giant pinned Hulk Hogan, despite Hogan kicking out at 3. The match saw referee Earl Hebner, substituting for his twin Dave Hebner, assisting André with the victory after being bribed by Ted DiBiase. André then handed the championship belt to DiBiase, who was promptly stripped of the title by WWF President Jack Tunney. After the WWF Championship was vacated, WrestleMania IV in March hosted a tournament to crown a new champion. Hogan and André both failed to reach the finals, with their second-round match ending in a double disqualification. André then feuded with tournament winner Macho Man Randy Savage for several months, but their matches often ended in disqualifications for one or both wrestlers. It might seem odd to label André the Giant as a second fiddle to the stars, but in 1989 he often lost to established wrestlers like Jake the Snake Roberts and Big John Studd. His feud with Roberts, centered around André's fear of snakes, concluded with a loss at WrestleMania V, showcasing a unique storyline for such a legendary figure. In August, André began a feud with the Ultimate Warrior over the Intercontinental Championship. Their matches, mostly untelevised, saw André consistently dominated in under a minute, boosting Warrior's ascent while casting André as past his prime. However, André found a resurgence by year-end when he teamed with Haku in the tag team division. Together as the Colossal Connection, they won the WWF World Tag Team titles from Demolition on a Superstars of Wrestling taping. Although André the Giant found success as part of the Colossal Connection tag team, his shift was prompted by his increasing difficulty performing in the ring due to deteriorating health. Haku handled most of the in-ring duties for the duo. At WrestleMania VI on April 1, 1990, they lost the WWF World Tag Team Championships to Demolition. After the match, André attacked his manager, Bobby Heenan, signaling a potential babyface turn that ultimately didn't lead to sustained momentum for him, as he subsequently went absent for nearly 6 months. He reappeared in September in All Japan Pro Wrestling, focusing on tag team matches. Despite his age, acromegaly, and accumulated injuries, André remained committed to wrestling. In fact, the WWF had significant plans for his anticipated comeback in early 1991. André was set for a WWF return at the 1991 Royal Rumble, with consideration to potentially win the main event Battle Royal. However, due to his declining health, he was ultimately pulled from the event. After a few untelevised matches in spring 1991, André all but retired from active competition in the WWF, even though he was featured in a storyline where heel managers attempted to lure him back, only to face embarrassing rejections. By now, his physical condition required crutches to get around. The tail end of his wrestling career included appearances in Japan and Mexico, focusing on 6-man tag matches to minimize ring time, highlighting his significant physical decline. Beyond the wrestling ring, André's fame extended into Hollywood. His most notable role was as Fezzik in the 1987 classic The Princess Bride. The film allowed André to showcase a different side of his personality. Despite his imposing size, he played the gentle giant with warmth and humor, endearing himself to audiences all over again. His role in The Princess Bride remains one of the most beloved parts of his legacy, demonstrating his versatility and broad appeal. While André's public persona was one of strength and invincibility, his personal life was fraught with challenges. His acromegaly caused numerous health issues, and his immense size made everyday activities difficult. Traveling, finding clothes that fit, and even sitting comfortably were constant struggles. Despite his jovial nature, André often felt isolated due to his condition. The stares and whispers that followed him from childhood persisted into adulthood. He coped with these challenges through a mix of humor and stoicism, but the physical pain and loneliness were never far behind. As the years went on, André's health continued to decline. His joints, particularly his knees and back, suffered under the strain of his immense size and the physical demands of wrestling. And on January 27, 1993, while in Paris to attend his father's funeral, André passed away in his sleep due to congestive heart failure. He was just 46 years old. The next year, in 1994, André was honored as the inaugural inductee into what is now the WWE Hall of Fame. Today, his legacy lives on. André the Giant was more than just a wrestler. He was a cultural icon who left an eternal imprint on the world of professional wrestling. André's life was a testament to the human spirit's resilience, facing enormous challenges with grace and dignity. His legacy is one of inspiration, reminding us that true greatness comes from the ability to overcome adversity and leave a lasting impact on those around us. The story of André the Giant is not just a tale of a wrestling legend, but of a man who truly lived up to his larger-than-life persona.